Welcome back. I have Dr. Hirose, who is here he's a pathologist and a medical director of the Blood Donor Center at Saddleback Medical Center. Well, welcome and thank you for being with us.
Thank you very much. Good morning.
Good morning. So, okay, so blood donation is very important, but before we go into that, let's talk a little bit about you and how long you've been with the center.
I'm a specialist in transfusion medicine, and so this covers the blood bank in a hospital, and it also covers blood donation.
Okay.
So I came to the hospital in 1994 and have been just so excited about all the discoveries, new treatments, and all the services that we could develop at the hospital, one of which has been the Blood Donor Center.
Okay, great. And the Blood Donor Center has been around since how long?
In September, we'll be celebrating our 10-year anniversary.
Great, great. And then you mentioned that you had a little celebration earlier in the year for all the donors.
We did. We had an opportunity to get together with our blood donors to share some lunch and then to go over some new information.
Okay, all right, great. So let's talk about the Blood Donor Center and what's offered there.
So as a sidebar, blood donation is so important. I remember a date about 15 years ago where we suddenly realized that the United States could not collect enough blood for its own needs.
Oh, wow.
We had to go to South America, we had to go to Europe to import blood so that we could support both medical patients that have anemia and patients that required surgery.
Oh, wow.
So there has been a big push to try to incorporate more collections in models that will supplement the volunteer system, which has been very well represented by the Red Cross, by the San Diego Blood Bank, all the big vendors. And so we thought that 10 years ago it would be appropriate and an opportunity to contact the friends, family, and relatives of all the patients that are in the hospital.
Okay.
It's a unique population in that so much money in advertising has to be done in the random population, and yet we are only able to achieve less than 5% of the total population for donation. And by reaching out and having the connection with the friends, family, and relatives of the patients, we tap into a resource that is really hasn't been really used for this purpose.
Okay.
And what a wonderful gift in donating this type of service.
So are you finding that because you're doing it that way that you are able to expand and increase the amount of blood you're collecting?
Yeah, so we were all hopeful and we thought that our model would work 10 years ago. You open the doors, we created the program, and you hope that it's successful. Our goal was to be self-sufficient in all the various things that you can obtain from a unit of whole blood, which is plasma, platelets, red cells. And lo and behold, we were able, over the course of the last 10 years, to be near self-sufficient in the red cells and platelet collections.
Okay, all right. Why do you think people are afraid to give blood?
Oh, everybody's afraid to get a needle in the arm, but I'm here to tell you that as the years go by, the little sensations in the skin, they're widely spaced. So there are some times when you could put a pretty big needle in, you actually don't feel it. Okay. So I invite everyone to come in and try this. Many people really don't even feel the pinch that goes into the unit, into the arm. The blood flows into a gravity bag, and the whole process is very quick. The regular blood donation is usually less than an hour.
Okay.
When we do platelet donation, we need a machine that takes the whole blood out and separates the plasma with the platelets in it, and then the rest of the blood and everything is returned to the donor, and that process usually takes about 2 hours.
Okay.
So it's a little bit hesitation because of not knowing if there's a lot of pain involved. There's not. And then also whether there will be residual symptoms after blood donation.
Right.
We observe blood donors in the center for a period of time to make sure that there is no bad reactions to the donation process itself.
Is there any particular parameters that someone needs to meet in order to give blood?
Yes, so another sidebar, the collection of blood and blood products is the safest it's ever been. And so the units of blood that we have are so safe today, our thresholds with which to give your blood to someone else is different than it was 30 years ago. We don't worry about viruses, hepatitis and so on as much because the testing that we do is so complete. And so the process is simple. And the question again was back to
what are the parameters that need to be met?
So in evaluating the donor, we do a complete history, medical history,
Okay.
and we to make sure that it's safe for the donor to donate blood. It's safe for once the blood is collected, that it's safe for someone else to use.
Right.
And then we do a very quick but very thorough evaluation of the donor themselves to make sure that they're in good health.
Okay.
Yes.
Any weight requirements or height or anything like that?
That's a very good question. So there is no restriction, but there's a number around which we ask the question, should the person donate? That would be a weight of 110 for a smaller person,
Okay.
but they're certainly able to donate.
Okay.
And then also, there is no age for how old you can be to donate.
Okay.
Back in the early 70s, there was fear that if you're past the age of 65, that you may have not enough stamina, not enough health with which to donate blood, and all that was shown to be incorrect, especially when we started to do autologous blood for yourself donation.
Okay.
So no age restrictions. We just make sure that the patient is otherwise in good health and has no other medical restrictions.
Okay. And you did mention that there's many of our residents who do donate blood.
They do. It's the core of our volunteerism to collect blood on the behalf of the friends, family, and relatives of our patients.
Okay. All right. Perfect. Well, what are some suggestions that you would like to make to our residents about, going in and donating blood through the center?
Please call. We'll have contact information, and you'll be able to talk to someone in person and discover that it's an exciting program. You'll be able to join an elite group, in my opinion, of people that have the interest of the community, the interest of their family, certainly relatives and friends, but also it's a unique resource. You cannot buy blood. It's only volunteer.
Right.
And so every donation enables our patients in the hospitals to have needed surgeries, to survive anemias, and every disease touches upon the use of blood and blood products.
Okay. And are you looking for all types of blood, or is there one specific type that you're looking for?
We are. So it was discovered many years ago that when you draw out whole blood, it has plasma, it has platelets, and it has red cells. And depending on the blood type, whether it's group A, B, AB, or O. O is the universal red cell donor. We separate out these components individually. And so for the universal donor for red cells, it's a group O. But if you're not an O, you're the primary targeted donor for platelets. Okay. So we utilize everything when the donors come in.
Okay, well, it sounds like a full service.
It is.
Okay, excellent. Well, anything else you'd like to tell us?
I'm just so thankful to have this opportunity to speak about a program that I think is one of the top 10 discoveries of the 20th century, where you're actually saving lives with this service.
And an easy process too, right?
It is.
All right, excellent. Well, thank you so much. It was very nice to have you on.
Yeah. Thank you for having me.
You're welcome. And remember, if you want more information, you can call the number on our screen, or you can go to memorialcare.org/give blood. We'll be right back.